And welcome back to the morning show. It's Wednesday, Wise Guy time, and our Wise Guy Matt Sellen has a little helper this morning, Will Givens, and we're talking about science projects. It's that time of the year, and Will has one that's kind of out of the ordinary, a little particle accelerator, right?
Right, so I think Will was kind of curious about the structure of matter and what's inside the nucleus and how people even figured out how the nucleus worked. And so he's put together this really cool presentation on nuclear physics, in a sense, and using toys to illustrate this stuff.
All right, Will, tell us how old you are and what school you go to.
I'm 10 years old, and I go to Next Generation School.
Okay, and what do you have here today?
I have a demonstration of an experiment that a scientist performed earlier in the 20th century. Thousands of years ago in ancient Greece, Democritus came up with the idea of the atom. After a few thousand years, the idea got lost, and Dalton put the idea back and made it famous again.
Okay.
Mendeleev created the periodic table of the elements. Then Einstein proved with Brownian motion that the atom existed. Then Thomson found the first subatomic particle, the electron. But after Thomson came Ernest Rutherford, who discovered what was in the center of the atom. He figured out an experiment on how to figure out the size, spacing, and even structure of the atom. What he would do, well, of course he wouldn't use a game. But he would take a radioactive source.
Okay, and today we're going to use these little ball bearings here.
These represent alpha particles, which he knew would fly off.
Okay.
Gold foil and a detector. So look over here on this side and watch the balls as they come out.
So most of those go right through, right?
Yes, most of them go right through, but not all of them. So Rutherford realized that something had happened. One day, he put the detector on the other side. Now let's see what happens. You look on this side. Some of them are going backwards or even sideways. Rutherford realized that that meant that he had found the nucleus in the center of the atom. Later, people would get more interested and build more particle accelerators, which led to further discoveries.
Very nice. Well, we have coming back in 30 minutes. You can tell us more about your science project, and Matt, you can kind of fill us in here on the physics behind it.
Rutherford was, people before Rutherford thought that the atom was just kind of like a pudding. And they knew it was neutral, and they knew electrons were real little, and they thought maybe the positive stuff in the atom was smeared out like a pudding, so it was like a pudding with little raisins in it. And then, so they figured, what Rutherford figured was that all the stuff, all these little alpha particles would just go right through.
Gotcha.
But he saw, just like William just showed you, that every now and again one bounced right back. That meant that what was inside the nucleus or the atom had to be really, really heavy, because otherwise the electron or the alpha wouldn't bounce off it.
I got it.
And so he figured out that right in the middle of the atom was something really, really heavy.
Okay.
And that was the first time that anybody figured that out.
So it's not pudding inside there.
It's not pudding.
Okay.
It's a nucleus.
All right, we'll talk more about that coming up in 30 minutes. But first, let's check in with Jennifer Ketchmark as our storm tracker weather forecast. Jen.
Well, thanks, Rob. It is 6:53 this morning.